I think lately I figured out how to make my videos download faster. If I put one of my own videos on, it makes it download way faster. It's doing it in like an hour and a half. I'm gonna keep trying it and see how it keeps working. But I know whatever they're doing, they're messing with my stuff. So, anything can be temporary, I swear. Um, but there was like a few things that I wanted to bring up today. When I go on TikTok, I'm telling you, I don't even know what happened to the people that I used to follow. And it is just all these different people. I've been following tons more people because I'm interested in some of the stuff that they're talking about. Like, so many women, so many. It's insane with, reproductive issues or bleeding issue, like all that stuff. Everything that they said, this is going to start happening. Oh my gosh. And when they're talking about it, what's crazy is none of them seem to know that this was expected, you know? So it is like, it's like they're all like kind of shocked or something. I imagine in some of the comments, that they're getting a lot of stuff. Like I saw one woman saying all this stuff that was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. And I went and looked in the comments and it was like, everyone, are you? It's like, she's been asked once. If y'all just left that one, we could go in and just check that one because it was quite curious. It was like, oh my God. And then Kirstie Alley, I don't think that she was, but she was also outspoken and she could have been given a cocktail. So a little spritz in the face do you wonders. It'll take you right on out. So, we're in such a crazy time. There is, I was seeing more stuff now with this crypto situation. Like, it's fucking insane. All these people who were billionaires on it suddenly getting killed just in strange ways. Like, it is, things are coming to a head. I've seen a bunch of psychics too, also coming and saying, or people who now are saying their site, people who realize, just like me, like I thought it was just that's how we lived. And then to find out, no, that's different than what other people have. And so those of us who are saying something, I've seen a lot of people, and they are saying, expect mass casualties through this month and next month. And then you're flicking through the things and then you see like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, this shit that is going on with people and their health and the sickness. And oh man, it's so intense. Like, this is so difficult to be awake through this. Like, man, it's hard. One thing though that was super cool is, while I was going through this stuff this morning, where it's like, it kind of bounces back from stuff that is just ridiculous or man-hating into real super crises, like so many crises, so many men walking out on their wives, and women finding out their husbands have second families, like crazy stuff. It is just, everything is coming to the surface in people's lives. And like, it's so crazy is how much stuff was hidden from people, and it's just like explosive. Like, it's mental. But one of the things that I thought was so cool, so while I was going through, then I came across a live of this guy in Scotland, and he lived there because he's a tour guide, and he was talking about his kilts, where I was like, oh my God, I think that there's some about kilts that I think guys are sexy. It's not like a skirt. They seem like, when I picture those guys, like those tough guys, they were like warriors and stuff. So anyway, so he was doing like a little tour live, and oh my gosh, it was just, to me, I was like, okay, I know I'm going there for sure. And it is so weird too, because my grandpa, so I don't know, my sister's done more stuff with the ancestry and my brother and stuff. Like, I've got a few people in my family that are all doing that, but I think they're all doing different people's lineage or something. There was some crossover, I guess my mom was saying. But anyways, like we're from 3 clans in Scotland, 3 different clans apparently. So, anyways, so I have like this genetic DNA tie, right? This ancestral bond to this place. And so then it's like, and I feel so drawn to it. Like, I know I'm supposed to go, like, I know there's a chapter to be had there, there's experience that I'm supposed to go there and experience. And when I see it, it's just like I long to just be out there, like on how with the mountains and these fields, and just to be out there. I can't think of what it's called. It's not like called the moors or whatever, but anyways, so out there, and I just listened to that guy doing that tour, but, and have that little farm, the little cottage and my little farm thing. And to me, like, the ideal lifestyle is, to have more than one place to live and to be able to travel, but to have your isolation, your place that is your place to get away from everything, where you can go and create and do whatever it is that you want to do, And so there's just, I don't know, when I look out at, in it looks just like solitude. Even when he was going and walking and he was showing this stream, well, river, I guess, because it's like 9 foot deep. I don't know, like, the parameters of the definitions. But anyways, he said it is like 9 feet deep and you can see clear to the bottom. He said there's no pollution. Like, they're not polluting. And he said climate change is doing them a great favor. They're not even having snow anymore. He said they're just having beautiful weather all the time. And so I was like, oh my gosh. But, well, I was sitting there thinking how drawn I am to that place, and how, like, I just know in my soul I'm going to go there. And, I hope that it's going to be for a pretty good season. But it's weird is because, you don't even know, like, if it was your own, if you had some other life that was there. And are you as connected to these different life aspects through your DNA, through your ancestry, which is what I think, that just as like they were showing me yesterday, like this connection with our souls to each role that we're playing, that it is also, to our ancestry and our connection to places. Because just like how I was talking about, like, with New Orleans, like, it was weird when I would go there because I was so at home, and it was like rip my soul out when I left. And, and I don't know, maybe that's where I was the gypsy jewel thief. I don't know. But, and just, there's just a lot of stuff that keep playing back out in my head. And a weird thing too, and this has been going on for a while, and I kept thinking it would kind of go away, but it just keeps building. It keeps being more. It's like, am I having some sort of memory shuffle happening through my head or something? Because, like, I could just be sitting here and all of a sudden I smell the bread that they used to make in the elementary school. Remember when they would cook the bread in the morning for our hot rolls? And I can remember the whole flavor of them and everything. They always kind of had like an iron kind of taste or smell. Like, I don't know. Now I associate that with blood. But anyway, so I'll get like that. Well, all of a sudden I'll just be sitting here and I'll just smell it. And I'll have like a feeling that comes with the smell. And I'll be like, okay, so I'm about to see something. I'm about to have a memory, and then it will just go away. And then it just keeps happening. And one of the smells is like this smell. I'm sure everybody can remember. It's horrible. And I've had this smell come more than once. But remember, like, when somebody in elementary school would vomit and then they go pour that weird litter stuff on it that would absorb it, that smelled worse than the vomit, I think. That smell, that will suddenly come to me, as weird as can be. And like all sorts of different smells, weird smells though, from when I was a kid. and or just all of a sudden a feeling or something. It's really strange. And last night, I'm telling you, it was so fucking crowded in my back there. It was like I couldn't even believe it. There was at some point, like I ran into somebody, and it was like, to me, I was like, you guys are, I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are all doing here. Like, I feel so crowded. Like, what the hell? And you see things running around. There's constantly stuff falling and stuff. And Stella's always jumping up and looking. And I don't know if that is what is part of what's bringing out some of the weird stuff. And I don't know if that is why sometimes she just goes and starts waking me up. Now, hold on. I got to do the fire real quick. Hold on. I should have done it before him. Hold on. So anyways, you know, there's been other things like where has been these like genetic kind of ancestral DNA, soul kind of stuff, you know, like our connections to the things. So yeah, I don't know if it's like my ancestry that is pulling me so much to want to go there. But when I was watching them, and I just love how they talk. And it's funny because when I'm always listening to people's dialects and stuff, I'm always listening to see, like, you know, it sounds so clear to me. And because other people, a lot of people don't understand different dialects, and a lot of people don't understand Scottish people. I think that I love the way they talk. They talk so funny. You know, they say different kind of words and stuff than we do. And I mean, they like have a different, like they don't just speak English. Definitely don't just speak proper English. But anyways, so while I was seeing this stuff with all these people with the sicknesses and different people having so many problems, and as soon as they turn towards plant stuff, they start doing better, which there's so many things about the onions and the potatoes, and there's so much sickness. There's so many people who are sick and going right now. Like there is so many people who are sick in my family. Like, all, you know, they're sick again. It's like, Jesus Christ, people. Can you not see? It's like every couple weeks. And then plus, they are, since they're still in the game or still, you know, they haven't woke up yet, they are stressed out. Like, this is killing my eyes. Let's see if it go darker. God, my eyes are just killing me. And then, man, Stella, when she woke me up this morning, she was relentless, and I was deep in it. Like, it's so weird how deep or where I go at night, why it's so hard to get back in my body, but I still feel really disconnected. I feel so out of it. And that kills my eyes. And, you know, just the issues with my eyes and stuff, that just tells me more about the stuff that is being poured on us. And this girl, you know, I've seen more videos now. This girl who pulled this, some started coming out of her nose, and she pulled it, and it was a worm. It was like about this big. It was about the size of my pinky, a worm. And she pulled it out, and I saw the video at first where it was just laying on like a cloth or something, and she was trying to figure out what it was, and it was moving. And so she's done more videos, of course, because people have been talking about it. And so I asked her, do you spend a lot of time outside? And she wrote back this morning, and she said that she did. She's outside all the time. Now, she lives on a farm, so she's out with chickens and stuff like that, so she's always out. And that just is more confirmation to me, especially Stella is having such issues with her ears right now. And, you know, I try and do some more diatomaceous earth, but I swear to God, we're doing so many things with these detoxes. Like, we are being so pounded with parasite, anything that they can get inside of us that will make us sick and depleted. And then, you know, and you know what, another thing too is, like, when you think about this experiment, this game, and then the experiment that each soul, like, I get this vision of, you know, many souls up there, you know, they're watching themselves play this game. And, when you remember who you are, without, especially when you're going against all this dark, everything is telling you the opposite of what you are, but you still know in your heart, you still remember, you still overcome that. They're up there celebrating every time somebody does it, but it's not just like a party. It's like, look at, like, I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it, because it is a challenge. Like, look at these challenges to remember who and what you are in a place that is so dark, man. It's so crazy that the like people and my family are so sick and so stressed out and just living this 3D life, and I see it next door, get up in the morning, leave when it's dark, come back when it's dark, be home for a little while on the weekends. Sometimes they even leave on the weekends. It's like the 3D life, it kills you. It just eats you up. You're giving out all your energy. Even if you're going out to entertain yourself or entertain your family or go have someone else cook for you. Like all these concepts, all this consumerism, everything our whole society has been based on has been just depleting us and stressing us out. And then, they know some of this stuff and so they just make it worse and worse and worse. I really am thinking at this point, because yesterday, like, you start seeing things. This is what I'm always telling you. Look at all different things, because you see things and it triggers memories. It triggers your path. So you start seeing it and they'll keep bringing you or they'll redirect you. But so this stuff about time and about our rhythm and stuff and about everything, and just the blatant manipulation with daylight savings time. And then yesterday I saw this girl saying, think about it. Why do they tell us the year ends December 31st? It makes no sense. There's nothing with the moon cycle. There's nothing with the seasons. It's just like in the middle, all of a sudden we're going to call it good. Winter just started, but it's the end of the year. So we're starting a new year in the middle of winter. Like, it doesn't make any sense how they do it. And this person was talking about, that they do it, like, I've said this stuff, but this person was also saying that they do that to mess with our cycles, to mess with our rhythm, to keep us out of sync so that we are always feeling kind of off. Always, and that's where your soul is watching. Can you recalibrate yourself? How dependent are you on the system to give you what you need? Are you able to find it for yourself and figure out, set your own pace, or calibrate yourself, because everything here is to set us off, and even go so far as to mess with our hormones and everything they can do to keep us messed up. Oh, and this is another thing too. And this is Western medicine. I can't even tell you all the horror stories that I keep hearing about the situation that's going on into doctors' offices right now. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so absurd. Like, this is like more than one story of this same thing. But this girl, she's having horrible, horrible pain. There's so many right now that are having horrible, horrible problems. And they keep going in and stuff. Women are having tubules. They're having huge amounts of cysts in their ovaries and their, what is that called? Exploding, whatever it's called. I had that happen in mine. That's why they said they had to take mine out, is because I was having some of these cysts, and then they get huge and they get bloody, and then they can open up, and then you can get super sick, all sorts of stuff. But so all these women are having these things. It's weird. I've never heard somebody with tubal pregnancies and these severe cyst. Why can't I think of what that's called? Anyways, when they pop or whatever. So she goes into the doctor and she starts asking him, and he said, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to take birth control, and that will regulate your period, because she said, I hadn't had a period in 2 months. He goes, how to regulate your period and stop the pain. So I'm going to put you on birth control. And she said, I don't want to take birth control. He goes, well, you're going to take a birth control. That's the only way to stop it. Otherwise, you're going to have pain. And she goes, well, I don't want to take birth control. And he goes, well, that's what's causing your pain. It's the ovulation. And she goes, Well, then how does that make sense if I'm ovulating every second of every day for 2 months? And he said, no, that's not possible. And she goes, well, then what is it? And she kept saying, I want an ultrasound. And he kept saying, no. Like, she's having this fucking wrestling match with this doctor. And she's telling him, like, this is my body. I know what's wrong. And so she pushed. He got mad, stormed out and stuff. And this keeps happening. Like, I can't even tell you how many stories that it keeps going on with this. Like, all different things. It can be an older person. It can be a younger person. It can be a mom about a kid. Like, it's mental. Like, the people who are working in medical are just like the people who are the cops right now. They've lost their damn minds. Like, they are so restricted in their thinking. They're not thinking like the rest of us. Like, I saw this video the other day, and I don't remember where it was. I think it was in New Jersey. And there's all these cops that came to close the place down because they weren't following mandates. So the person who's in there videotaping it keeps showing these people, the cops' faces, and you see the cops kind of being like very confused and not saying anything. Just like you see mass confusion on their faces because the guy videotaping them is calling out, is saying, those codes, and like this guy filming knows his shit, and these people don't. Like, they're just like, we're following orders. it's like I love Popeye. I love Popeye. Like, that's it. That's all we do. Follow orders. We got orders. And the guy's like, yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. Y'all are the problem. Look what you're doing. Like, you're destroying. And he's going out and calling them out and stuff. So, there's so much more of that. God, I'm so wheezy. There's so much more of that where people are knowing their shit. Like, I've seen people get pulled over and they are all in. Like, no, you don't have any right. I don't have to show you my driver's license. I don't have a driver's license. Just like, because there's not the whole thing. Even with driver's license, is that it was supposed to be you only needed a license to travel if you were selling. Like the snake salesman that would go from town to town selling his oils and stuff. Like, he would have had to have a license to travel for selling. But those of us who were just living, we're not supposed to need a license for that. But somehow they turned it into all these licenses, all these taxes. They just added on and we just accept it. But once people start reading through the laws and the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and knowing the rights and knowing where this stuff comes from, like there's people going way back in our language of where the words came from, and oh my gosh. So, it's all changing for sure. Like, there is no way it's going to stay the same or go back. And we are going to go, I think, this mass casualty event. And it's so scary going into something like this when you got all these sick family members, man. I can't even stand to see, like, all of this stuff. And then I just swear to God, some of these purebloods, they just are nonstop with you're going to die. You're going to die. I hope you know. It's all your fault. You're going to die. And you got this in your blood. You got this. You got that. And it's like, oh my God, I got to, I can't even imagine having, and there is people who are on there going through that. I mean, they've got to feel so defeated, so confused, and so scared. Like, oh my God, that is the thing why I didn't want my kids to know so far in advance. Like, especially so far in advance from the med beds. But we got to keep going through these waves of the separation, these waves of the transitions, leaving the game, and it's going to come in these waves because it's more impactful, like there's horrible things happening in all sorts of houses across the world. But, we don't feel the pain from that. So it has to be huge. It has to be this mass thing that is going to wake people up. But, that is what is going to change the world, is where we're going to start going into a beautiful place. But, still, man, we got to go through some shit to get there. It's so, And there's more going on, like this whole thing. So I guess apparently we have 55 substations or something across the nation. But you only need 9 of them to go down to take everything out. So you have 9 main ones that the other ones branch from. So the 9 main ones are our entire power grid for the United States. And so they've already taken down 2, I guess, yesterday. And I'm not sure if they were both in North Carolina or what, because I'm seeing these different things. People are, of course, are panicked about this because of the situation, that they're doing a cover story. Someone just went in and started shooting at it. And that just took down the power, and people in North Carolina don't have power. And I don't even know how far it's spread. This is something that they aren't talking about in the news that I know of. They're all the stuff that is really happening, they don't want us to know. And it's so funny too, because it's quite a little tightrope, right? Because they want us to be in fear of everything, but then they don't want us to wake up to certain things. They don't want us to have compassion and empathy, to know what's happening for other people. And so it's going to, keep happening. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I just, the whole thing that just keeps me is like, this is like, it's kind of like, it's kind of like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. Yeah, really. Because how I see it is like something beautiful coming out, and as the beautiful thing is being built inside the structure of the thing on the outside is the old form. That form is decaying and falling apart. It's just splintering and just falling apart, and that is what is happening. It's all that dark, the death, the decay, the deceit, the greed, all of it is being decayed as something beautiful grows in the inside. And that is, it's us awakening, that is seeing the truth, and they're, coming together and want more for life, want more for each other. And I've seen too where people are starting to, put their stuff out there and say, hey, I'm trying to barter. I've got this. If somebody else has that, with people who are making natural concoctions and stuff. And another thing too, so with the onion thing, so with all the sickness, so the onion thing, you cut up, and red onions are really good too, but I keep cut up onions around. But so you cut up the onions and you leave them around. There's something with red onions. You can cut up potato slices, put them in your sock, the bottom of your feet. It draws the bacteria. The onion draws the bacteria in the rooms. You can put the bacteria, you can put some onion in some water and then leave it overnight and then drink a cup of it or something. You have to look it all up. But it will clear up all of your sinus stuff, all of your coughing and stuff like that. Like I could probably do that, but I don't feel sick. I just feel congested. And so yeah, I think it's the stuff she's bringing in from outside, because I think they're putting parasite, they're putting poison, they're putting everything. They're just throwing the whole fucking kitchen sink at us. Like everything's coming at us right now. And it is fucking crazy too. With the electrical shocks, every time I start having these electrical shocks in my body and I smoke a couple puffs off of a cigarette, it goes away. Like, man, now that guy coming out and telling people, you should be getting some nicotine stuff. I agree that there is, we're being so hit so hard by so many things. And there was another thing though that was coming into my head when I was, I don't know. I really feel so scattered. I feel like the energy is so weird. The way these different things keep coming, all these fucking people or whatever being around so much, and little things running around the house and stuff. And I don't know, Stella with her whining and whining and whining. And I swear to God, if I'm not playing with her or she's not eating or sleeping, and she'll just sit and stare at me and whine. It's like, girl, you gotta stop. God damn. But there keeps being more stuff about like weird stuff that little tiny kids are doing insane, where people are like, like kids are coming in different. There's this one, this was trippy. So this grandma, she was videotaping her granddaughter's ear. Now I want to start looking at a lot of people's ears. I guess this is so strange. And so she was showing the film of her daughter's ear, or granddaughter's ear. And if something becomes noisy around her or bothers her, her ears close. They literally close. And then when she's done, they'll open back up. And not this part. It's not like that. No, this inner mechanism in here, it's weird. Because hers seemed to even be kind of formed a little bit different. Like, I mean, we really do have hybrid stuff coming out. Like, it's part of this changing and stuff. As I said that like a real long while ago, when I said, that these shows that are coming out, that's like the hand of God getting people to accept all these differences and, all this racist stuff, getting people to really, think about themselves, and they're accepting other people and other beings, because that is, going to be a thing. Like I think that there's going to be a lot more of this hybrid people and stuff, like things of our DNA coming out and these new kids that are being born. But anyways, it was trippy because, it's like these two hole things that you have in here, and the holes, the actual inside her ear, it would just close and then it would just open back up. I was like, that is so trippy. And there's no telling. Like I think we all have all sorts of stuff. I swear to God, I've got praying mantis in me. I swear. And what was the other one too? I thought of another. Definitely some sort of mammal. It was like grow this hair all over. Like I keep growing hair on my face, and it's like, oh my God, what the hell? I don't know if that is the hormone stuff that is going on. But what is it? There's something, man, there's so many different things. It's really hard for me to, and then plus, man, I took a bath this morning because I really wanted to soak. I'm just so uncomfortable, man. I'm just uncomfortable. And so I wanted to do a soak. And when you go into this certain state, like it's, I guess, meditation, because you go into like this other realm of where your consciousness is. You're not in this same thing. It's like trying to be in a dream and then wake up and remember all your dream. It's super hard. So it's the same thing when you go into these meditations or communications or trances or whatever. And so I'll be sitting there having all these conversations, and oh yeah, man, that is cool. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna talk about that. Like I'm sitting there like at the board meeting, going over all this stuff, and they're showing me things, and oh my gosh, and then I'll pull out of that. It's so weird because you can really feel yourself come out of there, but it's not like what you would think, but you can feel it. It's a noticeable thing to go from one realm of thought to another. And so then when I get into the other, that is this focus on this reality, it is hard to transfer stuff. Like it's hard to transfer thoughts or memories or communication all over. That's why so many times, it's like they're just telling me as I'm going, like giving me things to think about or talk about or whatever. It's stuff that they are trying to get into humanity, so people have deeper understandings and stuff. This was really cool too, because somebody was talking about Tibet. I think that they might, let's see, let me think if I can think of this. This was another one of those Baba Tarot ones that he was doing a stitch or duet with. And so this was talking about in Tibet how the Chinese government had put them way out in the middle of nowhere where they're hard to get to or something, because of they are true, like they aren't practicing religion, they are the thing. And so they to go there is, I want to go here, but it is supposed to be really, really beautiful. And another thing too, the other day, like last week, I heard that they went in and arrested all of the monks from a monastery. They went and arrested them all. I can't remember what the reason was that they took them. But anyways, they don't want us to, because if you focus on God, you know your own power. So you know your own strength. You can't be manipulated. But so in Tibet, then their religion is love, and everybody there practices it. And in the video, I was saying that is where we're headed. That is, after we go through all of this stuff, that is going to be, the global religion will be of love. That is, that's when we'll know we're in the age of Aquarius, when we move into that. And until then, we're just going through the trauma. We're just climbing the side of the mountain to get up into freedom. So, we've got the challenges still to get there, and, it's hard when you can see, we don't have to go through this or that. It's real simple, and we could just change, just wake up and see it. But see, they can't wake up. They got to experience it. So, it is challenging to, experience with them, because there's so much trauma. And it is strange, like, why some of us had to be so awake, so ahead. But there, it's all this stuff that we're learning from that is, I know it is significant. I know the stuff that they're telling me is right. I know, what they're saying, and how when the things shift, how there will be a shift, and there will be so much more reason or purpose that will make sense of why people had to wake up before other people, why it didn't all happen just at once, and why it is, and how we all are connected, just like, the connections with our DNA to our ancestry, and our connections to different places and different times, and is that ancestry connection the reincarnated life that we see. Another thing too, a lot of these spiritual people all see a reincarnation as a trap, and that it's something you're trying to break free from. I don't see that at all. I think the trap is how they look at it, and you're looking at it strangely, because when you understand that everything that we come here and learn, that becomes a part of our imprint. So we learn, and it becomes a part of our imprint, and then it's like we don't have to go in and keep re-experiencing something, because you learn. So I mean, but you can stay in energy form. You can stay just energetic and just go out and be energy. You can go out and just be, like the watchers, and stay as energy, just watching, but to go into some sort of form, into some sort of experience, that is what I would consider an incarnation, or going in to play some sort of part, to participate in some sort of challenging game to learn from. So, but I do think there's got to be some truth to this reincarnation, recycle trap. For how many people feel so trapped and feel so forced? They feel forced in life, So, is their soul waking up to the memory of being trapped in this reincarnation recycle? And then is it, people like me that have come from somewhere else that haven't been trapped in this recycle, that have come to help people break free from it or something? Because I don't see reincarnation at all as a trap, as a punishment or any of that stuff. I see it as a gift, a challenge, getting to play like when you play Monopoly or something, then you get to play you don't just play, you're not going to be the car every time. You're going to play all the different parts. So you get to play, your game with each different role. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, that just seems kind of limiting and a part of the kind of growing or something. Just like, the people who all think like they got to escape the Matrix or something. Like that, it isn't how I think that they're seeing things is just very different than how things are, and it is part of the fear and punishment. Like everything is a punishment. Everybody's a victim and everybody's scared, and that is like that's why your oversoul is up there waiting for you to remember. That's not the truth. You got to remember, because the truth is inside of you. So you got to quit using the eyes that see on the outside and start using the ones that are listening on the inside. And, I'm hearing way more people talking about like the communication with the universe, and, where they're seeing their own signs and stuff. Like, people are, and those things to me just confirm to me, like, I'm not crazy. Like, this is real. Like, because I've been going through this a while. I've been talking about it for a while. And, and this is what I tried to tell my brother even the other day. And something else he said that I wanted to talk about. So it was like, man, it is so strange. I can't think of what it was, but anyways, there just the stuff that they will accept, like it's so strange. Like the people who try and stay in the 3D want us all to accept the same thing. Oh, well, because he was talking about these things. And he was talking about like all of them, not just the ones he's got a whole bunch of. He wasn't talking about those ones. He was talking about the ones that we had to start getting from when we were kids. And he starts talking, because I think I said something about, I was doing natural stuff, and that interferes with money making medical. And so they're trying to shut it down and censor it. I think I was telling you can go find information about this, blah, 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 blah. But you have to, besides also another one too, I'll say real quick, besides the onions and stuff like that, turpentine, like the real turpentine, you got to get the real, not 100%, which is pine needle terp or something. I don't know. But anyways, apparently if you take a little bit of that, which I have to look up more about it, but you get rid of all the worms. She said that this one lady was talking about, she's seen them come climbing out of people's eyes because they do not like the smell of it, and they'll immediately evacuate. So anybody who's, I'm kind of hesitant to do it, but I did buy the turpentine a few months ago, so I still may do it. But anyways, so I got to get back to what I was saying. I always do that. I always interrupt myself. But I knew I was going to forget that if I didn't say it right then, because I was skipping away from the detoxing, because the onions, there's more of those. But so, okay, yeah. So I was telling him something about that, I think. And so then he said he was going to look it up or something. I don't remember this whole conversation. But whatever it was, then he started talking about that now, because of these stupid anti-people, that they brought back smallpox, or no, polio. And I said, okay, think about it. How does that make sense? Like, think about this logically. How does that make sense? Something's eradicated. Where did it come from? How did it come back? If it's been eradicated, where did it come from? Somebody just didn't just get it. It came back because they put it back in. And I kept trying to get him to see that. And that's probably where we started getting into talk, like how crazy I am. Because it was like, because he kept saying, no, it's the people who aren't doing that. They're the problem, because they're causing it to come back. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Like people aren't just born with this and then you have to have a shot to get it so that you don't have it. That isn't how it works. Like, but this is the thing that they get locked in their thinking, and then they laugh at you, even though that it's like, think it through. Think it through. Use your logic, use your common sense, and try and put it together like a math equation. Try and figure it out. Like, where did it come from? Why do these things come up periodically? And then they want to blame it. And you know what? I was seeing where the people who haven't done these, that there's been doctors who've been doing studies, and the people who have not gotten any don't even get sick. They never get sick. They don't have they're the most healthiest people. The people who got all these, that we're all the ones who are always sick, going to doctors, I got this problem, that problem, because they started out giving us problems right from the get-go. And they create these diseases. These diseases don't just naturally come. It's ridiculous. All these fast moving cancers, Yeah, I swear to God, there was another one I had just heard of besides that one with my daughter's friend, and then Kirstie Alley just dying right off the bat. But, all these are going to keep going. It's going to be a whole bunch. And then you can see who's running the fucking, it's a bunch of crazy people running the hospitals, So they're not going to heal anybody. I don't think they even know what the hell they're doing. I saw this one guy. I forgot about telling this one. This was about a week ago. And this is just, dude, yeah, go out, express yourself, be who you want to be. Like, I could not go in. You could not have tattoos and go and work at the hospital as a nurse when I was working. That may have shifted, but you had to have every tattoo covered. You couldn't be, like there was people like the orderlies or whatever who would have some tattoos. They'd have to put Band-Aids on them and stuff. So it's ridiculous. Then, so I see this doctor, a student doctor, working at the hospital, and he is, so he's young. He's got pink or purple hair, bright pink or purple hair. He's got real funky glasses on. He's got hoop earrings. He's obviously dressed very feminine. He's obviously a guy who's cross-dressing. And he's complaining because he went into a room. I think he's doing a rotation in the ER. He went into a room, and the woman, I'm pretty sure it was a woman, said, hell no, get me a real doctor. Get this thing get him out of my room. And the guy was so offended. It's like, dude, you could go out, you can express yourself however you want. Like, I don't even get how you get to go out and do that when, those of us who, we had to cover all this stuff. Like, I didn't even have tattoos then. I had one on my back, but I didn't have all these because you couldn't. And but, there was people who did, like I said, but they'd have to cover it, wear gloves. Well, you couldn't. Some of them, I guess they would wear the rubber gloves a lot, guys pushing the stretchers and stuff. But anyways, and then you got this guy, yeah, you can go in and just cross-dress, and then you're offended because some person doesn't want you to be their doctor. They're not taking you serious. You look like a circus show going in like that. Like, it doesn't, and then you are upset because you are trying to be this, fantastical person, and you just want to be accepted for everything inside of you, but you're going out into this society that is divided and biased, and then you're whining because it's like, well, what do you expect? I would think you would just, you would get that all the time. Like, it's weird. It's weird how backward people are thinking and looking at things. It's especially the people who are asleep. And that is the thing, though, man. When this flips, like, I'm telling you, it is going to feel like such a relief to those of us who are trying to make sense of the upside down. But it is going to be so bizarre to these people who are trying to trying to make the upside down their life. that are trying to just be that. It's like, because I don't have any problem with somebody, you want to be yourself or whatever, go be yourself. But you sure can't turn it on other people that something's wrong with them when they aren't accepting of you. You have to own whatever you're going to go out there and put out. And that doesn't mean you have to limit yourself, but you have to go out with confidence. You don't go out like, oh, everybody's going to hurt my feelings. And that's the problem that we have. These people going out being like all these, outrageous characters. But then if you don't appreciate them, then their feelings are hurt. Well, you gotta get some balls. You gotta get some confidence. It is about you healing yourself, not just going out trying to be outrageous just to get people to talk and just go out and create some drama for yourself. No, you want to go out and be outrageous. You have to go out with confidence. And then when you're going to choose that ensemble to go out, when there's this whole thing, this whole division over, the groom of the people who do the dressing and other who seem to be lost in their identity of gender, then a lot of people are going to not want you to come in and tell them about their medical stuff. Like, you seem confused on yours, then why in the hell do you want so? It is, I don't know. Like, there's a reason why people went out to try and look professional. Like, I remember back, it was something I just watched too the other day. What was it? Oh, it wasn't that. It was something. What was that? I can see it. So, but anyways, the guy going, oh yeah, it was this movie called Family Man. It came up when I was watching something else. This movie came up as, to watch. And so I was watching it, and it was good. It was kind of like a Scrooge. I'm pretty sure it was called Family Man. And it was kind of like that kind of thing, to see this other life or something. And so it was Nicolas Cage, and he's this, rich, ego-driven, just bachelor, just sleeps with all different women and stuff. And then he went into another reality where he was married to his high school sweetheart. But that reality really existed because the people in the reality, like his kids, could notice it wasn't their real dad. It was really good. It was cute. But there was this one part where he went and he was putting on a suit because they didn't have a lot of money. But he knew that, he liked nice stuff. He liked fancy suits. So he wanted this suit, and he was talking to the guy, and he goes, it's just amazing how it just makes you feel like more of a better person when you just put on the right suit. You just, and that is something also that I noticed in society, because when I was younger, and I used to dress, I would wear all those old vintage dresses when I was going out to the bars to go dancing and stuff when I was 18, 19 years old. And, and I hung out with a lot of like ska people, new wave people. And a lot of guys would dress in suits and ties and stuff. And I love that look. I love that, I swear to God, I have a lot of things lately where I keep thinking, I think I died. I think I lived at a certain time just recently and died and came back real quick or something, because of some different stuff. But anyways, so I feel very connected to like that kind of style and stuff. And then all of a sudden everything went to like this homeless look. Everybody all of a sudden switched and started wearing like ripped up clothes and ripped up jeans. And it was kind of fun at first to change, but I didn't know it was just going to go straight into that and then straight into just like all this designer stuff. Like the stuff that I keep seeing now with people talking about this Bellagio or whatever the fuck is, I'm shocked that this many people go and buy this designer stuff. Like, I think it's weird. But so the whole thing with if you dress, it's like dressing the part. If you dress with respect for yourself, you dress like you have dignity, then that is what you're going to feel. And so, you want to go to work and you want to go and dress like you're trying to do something else. You're trying to be outrageous. You don't have to. It's a choice. And I remember back in the 60s and 70s and stuff, where men, you go put on a suit and you want to go out and look like you want to be that part. You want to play that part, and go out and look respectful and like dignity, like you have dignity and class. And so, I don't know, it's just something that the newer generations are missing out on. And that they're all just trapped in this whiny, like, nobody accepts me, nobody accepts me. Well, you got to accept yourself. It doesn't matter if nobody accepts you. If you love yourself, it doesn't matter. Loving yourself is the best gift you can give yourself. And if you don't love yourself, then you need to figure out why. You need to start working on it. Start trying to figure it out. Because you don't need anybody to accept you. All you need to do is accept yourself. So anyways, I have been talking for a while and I don't even know. It seemed like there was more stuff I wanted to say, but definitely, I think, the current to me is a lot of sickness, a lot of people questioning things, but it's just still super slow. But I'm sure, some of the stuff they're saying, that they're getting bombarded in their comments by people getting them to question things, which that's going to be a mass awakening, because the more people that awake and the more people who speak out and the more people, that comes together, that's like explosive and awakening. And so, but there is stuff going on. So whatever with our energy grid, if 2 of them have gone down, like, I don't know if there's been repairs done, but when I've heard the people talking about it, it sounds like that's part of the plan to, take down different areas. That's what they've been doing with the weather. And then plus, when you start really thinking about, like, if all of this winter it's always been a manipulated season, and that is all to keep us off of our rhythms and keep us out of, even the stuff with the sun and moon. Because if you go back to ancient aliens, they talk about that the moon is some sort of a craft or something. It's hollow. It's where they think it's like some old spaceship or something, and that they use it to reflect, like they shine a light on it and it's fucking Truman Show. Like, I saw that was like 2015 or something on Ancient Aliens. And you start telling people back then, oh yeah, the moon's fake, and they're like, well, okay, crazy person. Everything you say, though, until someone sees it, they think you're crazy. Once they see it, it's like, oh my God, like, I thought you were crazy. You see that a lot too. I thought everybody was crazy talking about this. I thought everybody, and and everybody's seeing more and more and more. And so, but if they are doing that, then there's also some other things with this war stuff going on, like with the different movements and things that people are saying. I don't go in and go and look at all of this stuff, because you'll start building that fear and stress inside yourself. It's like, I'm not going to sit and listen to them say everything that's going to happen to all these people. It stresses me out. I don't want to sit and listen to it. Like, I'm perfectly aware we're about to hit some really fucking hard challenges, and we're deep in this cold ass winter, and people are dying all around us. It's uncomfortable, and people are, so many people asleep. And I think that there's probably so many people who are outdoors all the time, like, not just that girl pulling that big old worm out of their nose, but how many of these things that they're raining down on us, and they're inside people, and it's really just making them super sick. Like, I bet there's a lot of construction people who are sick right now. I keep noticing that next door, it doesn't seem like he's going very often. So I keep wondering, well, is it the money thing? Is it the banks are not funding certain things right now? Or is it sickness? And then also there's a lot of stuff going on with the money stuff. And then this whole thing with these crypto guys being obviously killed. So, I mean, one of them, they said, he drowned swimming, but he is fully dressed and has his wallet in his pocket. Yeah, he's going to go out swimming. Oh, like, that It makes sense. And so, anyways, but that's part of the absurdity. It's part of the awakening. Everything is going to be absurd and it's going to be frustrating because it's so ridiculous, and then yet still people don't see. So, anyways, we just got to keep riding it out. But I think, things are going to keep heating up and keep getting worse. And I think the same thing as these other people. Like, there's going to be a mass casualty thing that is going to be the shocking thing that gets everybody to come together. And I don't know what it's going to be. You would think it would be something with war, so we would have a common enemy. It wouldn't just be more sickness. I just keep hoping that is a lot of build up. I just know that the people I have them that I know are motherfucking sick all the motherfucking time. Cannot even fucking believe it. Can't even fucking believe it. And the whole thing is people have got to see, like, you can't, there's all this sickness. You cannot just keep going out and just living your life regular. Things have to change. You don't just keep going out. Like, people keep going out. I heard somebody saying, like, one of these psychic people, like, this won't be a good New Year's to go out. This will be a very dangerous one. There'll still be motherfuckers that'll go. I've been saying for a long motherfucking time, you gotta stop going out. You're just giving them target practice. No, all of this sickness, and people go, gotta go out, and then come home. I'm so sick. I don't know what's wrong. It's like, well, they're spraying chemicals. Like, you go out to a bar, it doesn't necessarily mean you rubbed elbows with somebody who is deathly ill because they're out dancing. No. They're putting shit in your ice cubes. They're it's like, fuck, people. Come on. They're spraying stuff right out into the things. Like, it's crazy. So, anyways, just stay strong and learn to love yourself. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.